There was a joke at my school that my friends would shop at Sydney's Closet because they would just come to my house and just wear all my stuff. I'm Sydney Johnson, and I'm from Munford, Alabama, which is a really small town 2 hours from here. I just knew I wanted to do apparel design. There wasn't really like a whole grand story of why. I woke up, I was like, I think that's what I want to do.
I'm Mary Ashley Allen. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I am a senior in apparel design. Fashion and dressing was always a way to kind of express my personality and myself, because I wore uniforms to school. So I decided to come visit Auburn just for the design program. Fell in love. I came into Auburn not even knowing how to sew, and I was able to get walked through by the professors on how exactly to do everything. And now being able to do my senior collection, it really is like a full circle moment.
I think I've always been more of a creative person, and that's always something I wanted to pursue. But in high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I am the creative director for the fashion event planning class, which basically means that I oversee the rest of the creative committee. I would call it the marketing for the fashion event. We set the color scheme, and then from there we do all of the flyers, the promotion.
The theme for this year's event is the silver screen. So it's based on old Hollywood glamour and the aesthetic that came with that.
And each of the designers are going to be shown up in their own little stars, and it's just like embracing that aesthetic and showing off our designs and our designers that way.
So I am in our capstone course, which is where you in a group, so me and 3 of my friends, we have to create a brand extension and create a collection for a target market that doesn't exist. So my group chose Ralph Lauren and is collabing with the Kentucky Derby and creating a collection for that.
I'm doing a mini senior collection with 4 garments. It's a very ultra feminine line. It's an all pink collection, and I'm focusing on rosettes and flowers in my collection. So I'm making a couple gowns and a couple sets to show off that. I'm in the mock-up stage right now. I am working with models to have them come in and try on my pieces and make sure everything fits correctly. So then hopefully in the next couple days I'll be able to move on to my final garments and get that all started and be able to do the specific touches on how I want to make my line.
I've always been really inspired by music and the music that I listen to. So the theme for my collection is sound waves and how my music makes me feel. I've done all of my drawings, all of my sketches. I've made all of my patterns and done mock-ups of everything in muslin, which is just kind of the most simple version of fabric that we use to do a draft of all of our stuff. And now I'm working on making the final pieces, which is always the most scary part.
Actually, last night I pulled an all-nighter, so I was here until 7 this morning, and I went home and I got ready and came back here. So I think everyone's in that we're all just pushing and really just grinding because our spring break's coming up, and technically that's our deadline for everything.
This one's so cute.
I probably spend about over 100 hours on fitting that's not included in my class time to make sure that everybody gets that personal attention. I get to know all of them. I have their cell phones, they have mine. I get a FaceTime at 9 o'clock at night. They're in the lab and they're like, I can't do this, please help me. I'm like, just calm down, we can work through it, show me what's going on.
Our teachers really care about us, and we know them really well, and they know us really well.
But they're so involved, and if you see them walking down the hallway, they'll give you a hug, or if you're having a rough day, a lot of times they've been my shoulder to cry on when I really need it. So
they're like my kids, and they'll all tell you that I love them so much, and all I want for them to do is to be happy and successful, and whatever I have to do that is what I'll do.
Right now our schedule's pretty crazy. I'd say I spend most of my time working on either my collection or things for FUP.
I'd been in the lab for 24 hours and I knew I had to get this shirt done because it looks so simple, but the construction of it is what made it a challenge. There was one night I was sobbing in the family stall bathroom in Spital, and when you're that tired, you beat yourself up. So At 5 a.m., I called my dad, and I hadn't slept. I was like, Dad, I feel like I'm failing, and I don't know if I know I can get this shirt done, but right now I feel like I can't. And he was like, Sydney, just breathe, go sleep for 2 hours, and come back. Like, you're not failing, you're not letting anyone down. That is really my biggest struggle this whole semester, was I was nervous of letting people down. And so then I slept for 2 hours. I came back, and I knocked out the shirt.
The fashion event class, it's actually taking that final garment and putting it on a runway for people to see, just like all of the couture houses do every season. And so it gives them a little taste of what industry is going to be about. And then a lot of times when our students intern, they get the opportunity to go back to New York Fashion Week. A lot of your big design programs, you sort of pick a lane of what you're going to do, and then you're very, very good at that lane, but you may not know what comes before you or what happens after you. And I think our students, we give them a well-rounded program, and they are market ready. I mean, they're ready to be hired when they graduate.
I mean, how many chairs can go around?
That's what we have to figure out. Because right now the max that we're at is 100. So if we can't get more than
Every fashion program dreams of having a fashion show. We spend so much time with all the details to make sure that it's the best show that we can possibly give.
Got here at 7:30 this morning, and we rolled all the garment racks through campus to try to get them here. And I've been organizing and making sure everything's set up for when all the models arrive.
So today I'm mostly in charge of volunteers and making sure that they all get here and get to their committees. During the show, fortunately, I get to watch since I'm one of the designers. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that do it to stay back and help make sure the models get ready. But I can watch the show up until the point where my collection goes, and then I go back, make sure everything looks good, and then walk with them and continue to watch.
I have had butterflies in my stomach since Monday. Just so excited for the event and hoping everything goes smoothly, and that this is my last fashion event, so like mixed emotions about that, but I'm super excited. My little brother Samuel, he's 18, he is one of my models, so for my collection I'll watch from the side, but I'm so excited I get to walk with him down the runway at the end, which will be a really full circle moment for us.
I'm just so excited for other people to see that like they can do it too. You don't have to have experience in sewing. You don't have to know what you're doing. You just have to love fashion and love the art and love to be creative, and you can do what we all do.
I put my first piece in the fashion event 2 years ago, and I don't know, it was something so exciting about seeing something that you've made and all these people also looking at this thing that you made.
I have been to every one of the fashion events since we started in 2011. Every year I am amazed at how willing they are to make everything work. They take it very, very seriously.
We do a really good job of making it a big production and putting it together like you would see on a stage somewhere bigger than Auburn. You know, we have all the lights, we have the runway.
It's so rewarding, and being able to like put something that you like put your heart and soul into and have other people appreciate it the way you do, it makes it all worth it. Like, it makes the long nights in the studio worth it. It makes the hours you spend on the garments so worth it to just have it walk the stage and look beautiful.